Okay, so this meeting will be recorded. I'm going to share my screen right now. Um, right. So I suppose I have shared my screen right now. Anyway, so let's start with the revision. So I think last meeting I was at the evaluation for the seventh assignment, and I think I have evaluated two of your works from Afonso and Hani. And now I have one non-fee, and then I also received two other assignments that some we have submit for the assignment number 8. So okay, hold on. Sorry about that. Anyway, so let's start with the revision. So I have write this revision below there, but there might be some additional changes to that. So let's read line by line, and then we can start revising. After school, I wait for my parents to pick me up. So, and then once I'm at home, I wash my hands and I play video games or watch TV. This is a pretty straightforward sentence, but I do think that we can try to let's say, connect this sentence to make one longer sentence. So it doesn't. We're trying to avoid sentence fragments like this one, but it's still a full sentence though. But sort of having full stop on every few words. So we are trying to avoid that. So I'm still going to keep the first line, but instead of putting a full stop after the word pick me up, I added a conjunction and to make it one sentence, not in two different sentences, but in one sentences. So pick me up, and once I got home, instead of I am at home, I just said I once I got home. It's including the fact that you got home. So and then comma, I wash my hands and play video games or watch TV afterwards. So still using the same one. Once I go wash my hands, watch TV. So I don't think the word afterwards here it's necessary. So you can just there we go. Got home, I washed my hands and play video games or watch TV. And then this one after that. So it's basically the same. After that, later on, it's the same. It's basically the same. The only thing that I changed the word is not because it is incorrect, but because of sentence variation. So we're trying to vary the words. So I'm changed that to later on. I tidy up the things inside my backpack and I do my homework and continue with daily routines like eating and taking a shower. So later on, comma, I tidy up the things inside my backpack. So since you are trying to list from I tidy up things inside my backpack, so that's one task that you do, and then do your homework, and then continue basic daily routines like eating and taking a shower. So that's about three. Eating and taking a shower, I'm going to combine that, making that to one of the basic daily routines. So that is one activity. Okay. So this time my backpack, comma, instead of just saying homework, you already said the word I. So the subject is yourself, so that's I. And comma, do my homework and continue my daily routines like eating and taking a shower. So that's how I would rephrase that. So you're trying to list the things, so you don't have to repeat the word I, since you're still the doer of those tasks. Just trying to make it shorter. And then I regularly do my chores at home to help my parents, and I also make sure all or most of my work is done at the end of the day. Okay, so again, this is this is variety of how you would word things. So it is also a routine, and from I regularly. So just gonna make it more variation. It is also a routine for me to help my parents by doing house chores and to make sure that I have done all of my work before the end of the day. So actually this is better by saying by the end of the day. So this is by the end of the day is actually a phrase for saying that we have done things before the day ends. So by the end of the day, it's sort of a phrase. So you can actually say I regularly help my parents by doing house chores. It's actually okay. And like the first sentence, I regularly do my house chores home to help my regularly help my parents by doing house chores. It's almost the same. It's just how you phrase that sentence. But each of the sentence means the same thing, so it's technically correct. We should have done all of my work by the end of the day. So it's the same. At the end of the day is actually by the end of the day, it's a common phrase. Before I sleep, I always brush my teeth and then I go to bed usually at 9 p.m. So I sort of rephrase that before going to bed. Going to bed sounds more it sounds smoother, so that's why I'm changing that before I sleep and before going to bed, which is a common phrase. Again, it's going to bed. I always brush my teeth and then I go to bed usually. So since I put the going to bed at front, so I have to change the go to bed to not go to bed. So this like kind of repetitive. So this one have to add another word so it doesn't seem repetitive. And I usually go to bed. So before going to bed, I should brush my teeth. Before going to bed. Okay, I think I might have made the superfluous sentence right here. So before going to bed, I always brush my teeth and going to bed, I should brush my teeth. And usually, I think right, and usually sleeps at 9 p.m. Okay, I think this is better. So I changed the word sleep and going to bed sort of like mixing them up. Okay, so going to bed, there's a few phrases for that as well. Okay, I think this is the revision. So if you have any questions regarding this, you can ask me right away. Or if I made a mistake in the revision. Okay, if no, then I think I can proceed. There are a few more messages, I think about 3 more to go. It's 6:26 right now. So my activities after school can vary depending on my schedule that day. So I changed that a little bit. It's a minor change. So my activities after school. So instead of saying my activities after school, I'm just going to make that as a phrase. So my after school activities. And can vary depending on my schedule that day. I still keep that sentence. So just change the phrase activities after school to after school activities. That's all. And then usually after school, I go straight home for a bath and dinner. I'm not sure. I think that is must have a typo, so I changed that to dinner. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, so usually, just at the comma, I would go straight home for bath and dinner after school. Hmm. Hold on a second. Usually after school. Usually. Okay, so after school should be better. Like the original sentence. I'm just going to put it right here. Hold on. Okay, change that. And we're going to we're going to paste this right here. Okay. Usually after school, I will go straight home for a bath and dinner. Okay. And then the next one we have in less than an hour, I needed to go to my English tuition and join the TAS class right after. Okay. So in less than an hour, which is the next sentence, comma, I needed to go to my English tuition and join TAS class after. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a comma, but I didn't add one here. Then okay, less than an hour, comma, I needed to go to my English tuition and join TI's class right after. So I don't think we should add a comma for the between the tuition and since we are talking about two things right there. Unless we are listing more than two things, for example, three or more, then we can add a comma between the end. Okay, so that's all. The sentence. The next one is after class is done, I continue with working on group projects, homework, and studying for tomorrow's daily test. So instead of saying after class is done, I'm just saying after class is over. After the class is over. After the class is over. Okay. We're doing the to emphasize that. Okay. I continue with working on group projects. I changed it a little bit. I would continue working on group projects. I'm not sure if I should add the word though. So we're just going to make this as concise as possible. After the class is over, I continue. I think you don't have to add the word though. Okay, so you can just say this. After class is over, I continue working on group projects, homework, and studying for tomorrow's exam. So now we can add a comma in between homework and add because we're listing three things. So homework, comma, and studying for tomorrow's exam. And instead of saying daily tests, I'm just saying exams. So it's technically mean the same thing, but I'm just trying to minimize the vocabulary usage. Okay. And then sometimes when the schedule is really packed, I would stay at school until 6 p.m. to work on group projects, or sometimes I stayed longer for the student council work. Okay. So saying sometimes we can vary that to oftentimes, but sometimes it's also correct. It's kind of have a different meaning, oftentimes and sometimes. So, but if you're trying to make the sentence you can just keep the sometimes like that. Sometimes means that it's rarely, it like rarely occurs, and oftentimes mean that this more frequently occurs, which is often, and sometimes it's kind of like the opposite. So sometimes when the schedule is really packed, I would stay at school until 6 p.m. So it's the 6 p.m. is the same. It's just different way of how that to work on group projects and sometimes even longer. I would stay at school. So I didn't add that other stay because, well, I would stay at school to work on group projects and sometimes even longer. So you just emphasize that stay and sometimes even longer than that. So this okay. So we don't have to copy the stay. When there's student council work. Okay. That's the revision, how the revision would look like. And then the next sentence we have. If I still have time after this work, I would scroll on Instagram or watch some YouTube videos before going to sleep. Okay, still the same. If I still have time after doing all the work, so instead I still have time after those work. So I'm just trying to emphasize that after doing all the work, so emphasizing that you will do your leisure activities like relax, unless all of your work have been that have been completed for the day. So emphasizing after doing all the work. And then comma, I will scroll on Instagram or watch some YouTube videos before going to bed. So instead of going to sleep, I'm changing that before going to bed. Which is a common phrase again, but going to sleep, it's not wrong either. It's just how the way you say that. It's okay. a really long gap. So this is for the eighth assignment. So I'm going to drink some water first. Okay. So meaning still record. Okay. Still recording. Wait, is it the okay, still. Okay, anyway, for the eighth assignment, it is Alfonso's work. And the title is Hazer, my best friend at school. Which is good. He made the title for the writing assignment. So we basically don't really have any timestamp here after we evaluate everything in the class. So it actually depends on how long the affiliation will be. Okay, anyway, a person's closest companion is the nearest and most extraordinary person we call best friend. So I made a revision on this sentence as this one here. And also, I actually think that it's better to combine, to make the sentence, to fuse the sentence into one. Not fuse, like merge the sentence. Call best friend. They support each other, frank, open, and blunt. So I will combine the sentence, or I have combined that right here. Okay. So a person's closest companion is someone whom we feel the closest to and most extraordinary. So still, person closest to the nearest. So why I change? I understand that the word a person's closest companion, and then you said that it's the most, like this one right here, someone whom we feel the closest to. It doesn't make sense. I've said closest, and why I said closest again. But it's okay actually because in the original sentence, it is just implied that a person's closest companion is the nearest. It doesn't accentuate the fact that you feel close to them, but in the revision, I emphasize the feeling of closeness with a person whom we call a closest companion. So that's the difference. And why do I change the word nearest to closest? Nearest, it's nearest and closest do means the same thing in our language, Indonesia, but it's kind of different when you put it in English. Closest means not only for you to describe a place, but closest can also mean when you feel close to another person. For example, your family, you might feel close with them. So close can be used that, but near is more like a place. For example, my house is near to the school, to my school, and then you can use the word near, which refers more to a place, a location between two places. So that's the definition of near. And most extraordinary person, okay, commonly referred to as best friend. So I trying to emphasize that best friend is what we refer this person is. Our closest companion we refer to as best friend. Or we call them our best friend. It's technically the same thing. We call best friend. Person we call best friend. So yes, yeah, commonly referred to as best friend. It sounded more formal and well, it's easier to comprehend. So next one, they support each other, frank, open, and blunt. So the next one is instead of putting a full stop, I make this a comma by making it's like a conjunctive form by adding a comma right there. Combining sentence, who will support each other through thick and thin. So thick and thin is an idiom that refers to that it's usually used for friends who will support each other through hard and well hardship and happiness and everything. So it's thick and thin. It's an idiom. So it's saying other frank, open, blunt. Frank, open, and blunt is synonymous, all of them. Meaning that I understand that the original one saying that we can be honest with each other and be open with each other. But through thick and thin, it's just I'm trying to insert an idiom right there so you can learn new idioms from the sentence. Okay. A user is one of person who met those definition at school. Okay, so I changed that a little bit. A user is one of the people who met the criteria at my school. So it's one of person. So I understand that a user is one of the many people that you met at your school that met the definition of your closest companion. So you're trying to emphasize that a user is one of the many people. So you should say one of like this one right here. What does say this? I got some pride right there. One of the people. So instead of saying one of person, because person is a singular, when you're trying to make this plural, for example, is one of the people right there. So you're trying to emphasize that he is one of the many people that you've met, meaning that plural, that those definition is school. So instead of saying meet those, you say met the criteria. So we use a past tense because, well, it's not actually a past tense, it's a passive form of meet that is met. So who met the criteria is my school. So you can actually say definition, which is also correct. But I changed that to criteria because it sounds more fitting. Since we mentioned that friends will support each other, then you feel close to them. It's sort of like a criteria of what a best friend's supposed to be. And that's why who met the criteria. Anyway, next sentence. He is as silly as me, smart, and very kind to others. Okay, so he is as silly as I am. So there's actually what do we call the pronouns? There's me, I, and I am something like that. So he's as silly as me. So you want that to, I mean, um, we're trying to make this balance. For example, we are trying to say he is silly, and we're trying if we can flip that. For example, he is as silly as I am, or I'm as silly I am as silly as he is. So we can flip that. But which this doesn't make any sense if we sort of flip this as me as silly as he is. So it doesn't make sense. So we're trying to make the sentence balance, even though we flip the I at front and the back, it still means the same thing. So we're trying to make that balance. So that's why it's supposed to be as I am. Smart and very kind to others. Okay, same. Just add a comma between smart and. Okay. He also talkative and his drawings are great. I feel happy to become his friend. And I think he also loves my company. Okay. So minor revision right here. So we're trying to add the hold on. Okay, give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. So trying to change this person. So he is also very talkative, which is the revision. So that's I add the word is right there, the to be is, because it is actually as followed. For example, that the subject is followed by a to be, so that's why he is also talkative, which is a common formula. But yes, it's sometimes being overlooked, but always can still understand, but still a minor mistake with there. So where's the okay, he is also talkative and he's also very talkative, can create amazing drawings. So I change that to and his drawings are great. So it can create amazing drawings. So it's not wrong anyway, but I'm just trying to make a sentence abbreviation. And we're trying to make this balance right here. So we're talking about his talkative personality, and then we're trying to say his ability, which can create amazing drawings. So yeah. So next sentence, I feel happy to become his friends, and I think he also loves my company. I changed that a little bit to I'm happy to be his friend. And just add a comma right there. And he also loves my company. I think the end is not necessary. Or think about it. Okay, what happened right there. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, so lost my company. Next sentence. Our favorite subject is mathematics, although he's not so good at it. But we enjoy the time I teach him, and he still doesn't get it. It is frustrating but fun at the same time, since he always makes funny faces and actions when it happens. Okay, so our favorite subject is mathematics. It's mathematics. Should we add an S with there? Sure. It's mathematics. Okay, mathematics. So, comma, even though he's not really good at it. So the sentence is a little bit long. And when I was doing this revision, I also make it really long. And then I decided to um, break this sentence apart. So after they were not really good at it, I added a full stop. And then I use this word, however, as a conjunction to sort of connect it with the previous sentence. It doesn't necessarily open a new story. Start new story, I mean. Then yeah. However, okay, so where is that? Not so good, but we, but we enjoyed the time of teaching him. So that it is frustrating but fun at the same time. Okay, so I make that. However, we do enjoy the time when I teach him. So it's almost the same. I change the but to however. We enjoy the time when I teach him, comma, and he still doesn't get it. So instead of using and, I'm just saying, although he still doesn't understand in the end. So in the end, it's almost the same. So I'm trying to emphasize to sort of like exaggerate. In fact, still doesn't get it in the end, and try to emphasize, which can be frustrating and fun at the same time, as he often makes funny faces. Yes, as or the word for. It can be a substitute of the word because or like due to reasons, like reasoning. So yes, he often makes funny faces. Also a correct form instead of saying just because he often. So again, sentence variation. He said that one day he would like to be a police officer who catch bandits and manage the traffic well. We might have different dreams, but I hope we will be supporting each other until our dreams come true. Okay, this is the closing part of the sentence right here. He has once said that he would like to be a police officer one day who can arrest bandits and manage traffic well. So just change the words instead of he said that one day. He has once said. So you sort of like reminisce the time when he said that. So like using a past perfect. So, okay. He said that one day he would like to be a police officer. So he has once said. So sort of like you recall that he has once said that he would like to be a police officer one day. Or maybe he said he would like to be a police officer. So I don't think the word one day is necessary. Be a police officer who can arrest bandits and manage traffic well. It is still the same thing. We might have different dreams, but I hope we will be supporting each other until our dreams come true. We have different dreams, comma, but I hope we will support we'll be supporting each other until both our dreams come true. So until our dreams come true. So I add the word both right there to emphasize that you want you and your friends support each other until well both of your dreams come true. Not only yours but also your friends. So both are dreams. So sort of like to emphasize that. Okay, so this is for the revision. And I must this in the Google Classroom after finish the So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and you can also ask from the previous three passages, including this one. If you have any questions or probably corrections you would like to add. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so this is non-quiz assignment, which is the last assignment I have. So I encourage all of you who have not submitted the 8th assignment to submit your assignment, because we will have the 9th and 10th assignment. Well, after the 10th, I think it will be the last assignment for this module. So I hope that we can finish everything as soon as possible. Okay, next. Karen is my closest friend at school. She's my deskmate for over 2 years. So both of them are actually an independent clause, making it as a full sentence. But we're trying to make the other one, the second one, as dependent one, so we can combine the sentence without making like a running sentence, like a sentence. So we're trying that. So it's technically not wrong, but we're trying to make this a longer sentence. Making it longer sentence, it can be more complex. Okay, so Karen is my closest friend at school, and she's my best friend for over 2 years. And since we are saying over 2 years, and it's still ongoing for over 2 years, so I assume that it's still ongoing since you're using the is my deskmate for over 2 years. So if it's ongoing, then it should be a present perfect. So has been my deskmate for over 2 years. And I added word and between school and she and has been, because I'm trying to make the second she is my deskmate for 2 years as a dependent clause. And independent and being added by dependent makes this well, it makes the one longer clause right there. Okay. Okay. But okay, hold on. Sorry about that. What got me really attached to her was because she has this charming personality and big smiles on her face every day. So only did a minor revision right here. What made me attached to her is because of her charming personality and the smile she has on her every day. So it's technically the same meaning from what got me attached, but the word really it's kind of superfluous since you're attached to her, meaning that well it's also attached without the imposition of really you can actually tell that you're attached. So you can exclude the word really right there. So what got me or what made me attach is the same. So again, I'm just trying to show the synonym of the sentence. To her, it's because of her charming personality and the smile she has on her every day. So I'm not sure about this was and is. So I'm trying to comprehend the meaning of the sentence right here. So was because she has this charming personality. Yes, okay. Okay. We'll continue right here. Okay, I'm sorry, I have a cough. So my voice may sound a little hoarse, right? Hoarse right now. So no. Okay. Okay. Where was I? Okay, she has this term. So to her was because. So I'm not sure you can not if you're here you can trying to correct me if I have something wrong. So was because she has this charming personality. So I'm not sure if you're using a past tense is because you're trying to retell why you were attracted to you were attached to her was because her charming personality. So that's why you use the past tense of is, which is was. But I actually use is right here because I personally think that you're attached to her is because of her charming personality, meaning that this is what makes you attached. Or if you're using was, you're trying to emphasize the fact of why you were attached to her in the first place. So it technically mean different things, but again, correct me if I'm wrong. It's because of her charming personality and the smile she has on her every day. So actually, I can add here and the big smile. There we go. So it matched the original sentence. And the big smile she has on her every day. So why I changed this to a singular? Because well, we are trying to emphasize that she has a big smile. So not big smile. So she has only one smile on her. So that's why I'm saying big smile she has on her every day. So on her face every day. You can see that. And the big smile she has on her face every day. Should be it's still an emphasize, but if it's not, it's sort of like an additional information if we add the face on it or not. Doesn't change any meaning. So it actually depends on the writer if he wants to add that or not. But I did eliminate the word face right there. Okay, so we have a semicolon. Contrast to my personality back then, really different from my personality back then. So contrast to my personality back then, um, I sort of changed the contrast to shorten this from really different to contrast. Contrast means like really different. In contrary, in contrast, contradictory, everything that's contra, it's a different, meaning that it's the polar opposite, really different. That's why we are saying contrast to my personality back then. This like the saying. So as people say, it's like the saying. Saying is something. It's not just saying that I am saying. It's different. Saying can act not only as a verb. It can also act as noun saying. So sometimes if we say in Indonesian, probably like pribahasa or something like that. So it's like saying your environment affect who you become. Okay, so it's the same. Interacting with Karen made me rethink on my personality that was too attached to studying and forgetting to build a healthy social life. So I changed that a little bit. Interacting with Karen made me realize that building a healthy social life is equally important with studying. So actually, I can have a few sentence variety. You can make it like the original one, like you have wrote, or like the revision that I have revised with there. I think can make me realize that building a healthy social life is equally important with studying. Or you can change this a little bit. Instead of saying forgetting, you can actually say that you're neglecting a healthy social life. So we can exclude the word to build and neglecting a health, or we can say neglecting social, neglecting a healthy, neglecting build to build healthy social life. It also can be. So you can just substitute the word forgetting to neglecting, because forgetting, it means it has a more deeper meaning that you forget. You totally forget about it. You just um can't remember that it is there in the first place. When neglecting, you actually know that. I mean, you remember about that, but you sort of just don't put much thought into it. So neglecting, it's more fitting right here. So instead of saying everything, I I changed the sentence to make me realize, saying that you just realize that since you're interacting with your friend and you sort of realize that you should build a healthy social life, which is equally important with studying that, well, since I have been attached to studying and neglect building a healthy social life. So that's what I'm trying to emphasize in the sentence. Okay, next one. She made me become a more cheerful person, more sociable, and always think of the positive sides in every bad situation. So she made me, so I actually changed this. She turned me to more. So turn can actually mean that you change a person completely, or make a person being different from what you used to be. So that's why she turned me to a more cheerful and more sociable person. So why I changed the word person after the word sociable? So trying to emphasize more cheerful and more sociable. We're trying to make this balance, and then add person at the back. So so the person you are now is more cheerful and more sociable. So it's sort of have a two adjective to it. Anyway, and always think of the positives, and I always put and more cheerful and more sociable. at in the revision. So I changed that to such a person who always looks on the good side in every bad situation. So I changed the word and to who, just substitute for a person that you're describing who always looks on the good sides in every bad situation. So I changed positives to good sides. It's actually the same. You can say look on the good sides or positive sides. It's technically mean the same. In every bad situation, she's really my role model. You can just shorten that to she is my role model. So just make it short. So that's all for the revision. So okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for a while. Sorry about that. I'm going to check if any of you have submitted an assignment that I have probably haven't checked before. So give me some time in a while. So okay, so I just received two more assignment. I'm going to copy that. So give me some time. Two copies. I just received two more works from you. I haven't checked the Google Classroom yet. So yeah, I haven't checked. Okay. Let me just share my screen again so that you can also see what I'm currently doing right now. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay, so this would be Honey's assignment. So we're going to add Noah's assignment first. So I hope we can finish this though. And for today. Oops, sorry. Okay. So if we can finish this, I probably have to continue. We still have about 15 minutes probably from now before the class ends. Right. So this time we want to discuss who is your best friend in school, why. I have one best friend, and the name is Brenda. We started our friendship from the beginning. We still had to get to know each other and become friends. I am friends with him because they are fun, frequency, good. Brenda are also smart and beautiful. We always together. We eat ice cream, snacks together. They also sometimes snack. Okay, so I'm going to do some revision. This is a short passage, which be quick. So instead of saying we are going to discuss, and discuss is something that you want to talk about others, and discuss meaning that you not only do you talk with others, the other person that you're talking to will give you some feedbacks, but this time you're trying to write, you're currently write in the writing assignment. So you can just say this time. So instead of saying we want to discuss, you're only talking about yourself. You're a single writer right now. So just gonna say I, which is a singular, instead of using the we, just the plural form of the first person point of view. You can just say this time I want to discuss about, okay, I just say discuss. I want to talk about. You change that. Since you're trying to explain what you're going to talk about. Talk about my best friend at school. Okay. Talk about my best friend at school. At school. So you're talking about a friend with the name Brenda. This time I want to talk about my best friend at school. School. And since you're talking about Brenda and it's a he, you can just say his name is Brenda. Brenda school. And school. And school. Brenda. Okay, we can just actually without this. This time I want to talk about my best friend's school, Brenda. Okay, now it's kind of weird since you're talking about as if you're talking to Brenda right now. So we have to sort of make a revision to that. This friend is cool. Okay. Okay, I think we should just add a full stop here. I have so in the formal writing we should um write any numerical form in not in numbers but in words. For example, right here I have one, so you have to type that in words. One best friend. One best friend. Friend. And his name is Brenda. Right. So we can have this right here. So every time we have a full stop, we should add make a space with there. So we started our friendship from the beginning. So we're trying to emphasize this from the beginning of something. So it's kind of hanging right there. So we said from the beginning of school year. Okay. We still had to get to know each other and become friends. I'm friends with him. Okay. So we started friendship in the beginning of school year where we get to know each other. Okay. And become friends. Okay. Now full stop. So still I am friends with him because they are fun, frequency, good winners are so smart and beautiful. You're always together. So you're talking about a friend, right? Brenda is only a single person, right? So if you're talking about a single person, you shouldn't set they. So you can say he is fun instead of they are fun. Unless you're talking about two or three more people, then they are fun is correct. You can say so. You can just say I like being his friend or enjoy being his friend. Okay, so you can just say I like being his friend. So you can just say that. So I'm friends with him. So I just say I changed the sentence to I like being his friend because he is fun. So I don't understand the frequency right here. I understand you probably want to say this so frequency, which is an Indonesian word. So I'm not sure what to substitute right here. So we can just say he's fun. So instead of saying he's fun and we have a lot in common. It's okay. I'm just going to change that. Okay, I think I'm just going to say it. So it's also smart and beautiful. So I'm not sure if Brenda is a he or she. Okay, I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to use a he right now since you said I'm friends with him. Anyway, you can correct me if Honey's here about this, if I made a mistake in the revision. Okay. Okay, I think you can also add Brenda is so Brenda are also smart. So as if you're talking about plural Brenda. More than one Brenda, so we should avoid that. So we can just say Brenda is also smart and beautiful. Okay. You just might have to full stop it since well, we are trying to start a new sentence right now. We are always together, we eat ice cream together, snacks together. They also sometimes snack on me. That's all my explanation. Okay. So you can say we eat ice cream and share snacks together. So I'm going to combine the share snacks together and eat ice cream together as one. Eat ice cream and share snacks together. So we can say we often share snacks together. Okay, I think that's all. They also sometimes snack on me, not really sure, but it's actually the same, I guess, with share snacks together. So I sort of um trim the sentence since it will be superfluous. So I think this is all. This time I want to talk about my best friend at school. I have one best friend and his name is Rinda. We started our friendship at the beginning of school year, of the school year, of school year, where we get to know each other and become friends. I like being his friend because he is fun and we have a lot in common. Brenda is also smart and we have an extra space right here. She's also smart and beautiful. We're always together. We often experience those next together. Okay, I think that's all.
Tapi, kong, tapi kong, kong. Bahkan kayaknya di sekolah mana? Di kelas ya, di kelas gak ada itu. Bahkan bahkan gak ada tanda salib. Soalnya kita itu ada yang agama Buddha, yang lain gitu. Cuma yang Buddha cuma 2 orang. Iya. Meme sama ketua kelas. Meme ketua kelas. Iya si Yoga. Meme sih. Yoga itu. Tidak. Yoga kan ini teman papa, temannya kok.
Sorry. Okay. So sorry about that. Okay, so unless you have anything to ask related to the essay, I do encourage you to mute yourself close to the microphone, unless you wanted to ask. Okay, anyway, so this is the last assignment we have to evaluate this this class for the 8th assignment. Well, for the next week, 9th assignment and then 10th assignment. I think after the 10th assignment, we will all be done. And congratulations for completing the writing class. I will post that probably in a few days from now. But yeah, please remember that we have the 9th assignment. I will post that in the Google Classroom too as a reminder. Anyway, so this is the last. I have multiple best friends at school and they act kind to me. One of my best friends is named Ethan. Ethan is a shortened version of Athanasius. Okay. You can say I have multiple best friends at school. Okay, so the next one we have and they are kind to me. So school and they are kind to me. So instead of saying it's sort of contradictory, you just said that I have multiple best friends and it's one of my best friends. You can say one of my, instead of saying closest friend, one of my closest friends. There we go. So why it is plural? So you're just trying to represent one in any of them. So one of my closest friends, which is why friends has to be plural, is Ethan. So you don't have to add the name Ethan, like the name there. You can just say it's Ethan, which is a shortened version. Let's use. Okay. Because of fitness, which is sort of version of Athanasius. I call him Ethan because Athanasius is too long. You say I call him Ethan because now we can say because Athanasius is too long. So we're trying to emphasize that what is Athanasius? We know that you're referring to Athanasius as your friend, but Athanasius is his name. So we can just say call him Ethan because the name, to emphasize that this is his name, is too long. There we go. So emphasize that. I play with him during break time and after school. After school, my parents take a while to pick me up, and Eden's parents also take a while to pick him up. So after school, we play and have conversations together. Okay. I play with him during. So the thing of during break time, you can actually change it during recess, which is the other term for break time, and after school. When we are waiting for our parents to pick us up. So why do I change this? This is a lot way shorter than this. So I play with him during recess and after school when we are waiting for our parents to pick us up. So instead of saying after school, my parents take a while to pick me up, and Ethan's parents also take a while to pick him up. So it's basically mean the same thing, and we're trying to combine this. So our parents take a while to pick us up, which is the whole idea of the sentence. So we can just say when we're waiting for our parents to pick us up, which is way shorter. And yeah, parents, our parents refer to your parents and Ethan's parents. Okay. So after school, we play and have conversations. Playing him during recess school when we are waiting for parents to pick us up. We often play and together and have conversations. We often play together and have conversations. So essentially we play and have conversations together, often play together and have conversations. It's technically the same thing. So yeah, it's actually okay. But again, just trying to show that you can actually change different variation sentences. At our homes, we sometimes talk to each other using WhatsApp or play online video games together. We have been friends since fourth grade. Okay. At home, you should just say at home instead of at our homes. At home. I sometimes. Okay. Okay, so you can actually just understand. So you can just say at our homes, television. We sometimes talk to each other using WhatsApp. Okay, so at our homes, we forgot to sometimes talk to each other using. Okay, what happened right there? That's or play video games online video games together. We have been friends since fourth grade, and we are done. So this is the revision of Noel's assignment. And again, if you have any questions regarding the sixth assignment that I've been affiliating, that we affiliate today, so feel free to ask before end the class ends. I'm going to end the class. Okay, we still have a few more minutes before the class ends. Okay, anyway. Okay, so if all of you have any questions, we can end the class. Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording.